Oh, sweet baby. Hi ho folks, it's once again time for another unboxing. I'm very excited about this. It's an item I picked up on Marketplace recently. Got a really good deal from a fellow collector that I deal with regularly. And I'm just gonna take a moment to get into this box and show you what I've got. And it's funny, a lot of my purchases lately have been getting back stuff I traded away or sold in my youth. I wish I had now, and this definitely fits the bill. You can tell by the box it's not comics, it's trading cards again this time. And in this case, you know, it's funny, at the time when I was collecting these cards, when they were new or shortly after they were new, they weren't worth much. They weren't that well regarded. They weren't a real big deal. But now their value has really gone up, something that I hadn't expected, which is why I would never have gotten rid of them. That, and like, they are fun and nostalgic. So this is another trading card set by Comic Images, and the seller's name is Chris McGowan, who is on the it's the Ontario Marvel and DC trading card group on Facebook. Anyway, this is the McFarlane era Spider-Man set by Comic Images, published in '92. So Comic Images was still, I didn't think they were still doing Spider-Man in '92, but it looks like they were. That's before the trading card licensing went to Fleer, I think. But at this time, Comic Images was still doing their thing. And in this case, they had a really simple design in that it was all full bleed. There was no border. Spider-Man, Ghost Rider. And this is a really nice set. It's all basically revolving around the storylines of the early '90s Spider-Man series that was written and illustrated by Todd McFarlane. That's why it's the McFarlane era. And this is something that causes confusion. So Comic Images did a Todd McFarlane trading card series, and then they did this one. So technically this is like Todd McFarlane's series 2, but it's Spider-Man series 1 for them, and they later did a Spider-Man 2, literally called Spider-Man 2 30th anniversary trading card set. And I have that one, so it goes together nicely with this one. The Todd McFarlane set is much harder to find. Again, this is the McFarlane era Spider-Man, as opposed to the set that's just called the Todd McFarlane set. So that one's much harder to find, but this one, you know, it used to be very common. I had tons of these, and now they cost a bit more. And then I got a part set. It's not the full set, but it's the Comic Images X-Men trading cards. So these are from before the ones that are more well known by collectors, again, from the early '90s by Impel. These are Comic Images from '91. And again, full bleed, no borders, covers and interior panel art going through storylines of X-Men comics at the time. And in this case, what I purchased is about 3/4 of the set with some cards missing. So that's another one that now I'm going to be looking to fill in the ones that are missing. But these are in pretty good shape. Look to have been fairly well taken care of, and a bit of a wider range of artists on this one because it's not dedicated to one artist. I know there's some Jim Lee in here. I was hoping they might have some mention on the back, but they don't. So like, that one's got a signature on it because it's a cover, but damned if I could read that because it's so small. But yeah, so this would be late 80s, early 90s X-Men art and stories, as this series came out in '91. So really we're looking at maybe, I'm going to guesstimate what was going on in the X-Men comics from like maybe 88 to 90 is really what's being covered here. Richter and Skids, Warlock, lots of Jubilee and Wolverine. Cool stuff. You know, there's a cool image, Wolverine versus Archangel. And yeah, lots of cool, iconic stories and storylines from that time period. And again, this is a set that at one time, I mean, even a local retailer, once the other X-Men cards came out, the Impel ones that were very well known, they had a hard time moving these and getting people interested in them because they just didn't have the hype. I think the biggest downfall to Comic Images at that time, other than losing the licenses for the Marvel characters, was maybe not having the promotion budget that they needed for this. They also produced posters and t-shirts, and you saw lots of ads for those. They used to advertise them in the comics, but you didn't see ads for their cards much. And then when Impel got in, I mean, they started really advertising. They had ads everywhere in magazines and comics, and I think that is part of really what made the difference in getting people interested and excited in them. Also, Impel started with like the power charts on the back and the character profiles instead of story recaps. So I think that was part of what changed the scene. But anyway, super happy to have gotten this. Very excited. Looking forward to finishing that X-Men set. Looking forward to getting that Spider-Man set together with my other Spider-Man cards. And again, big thanks to Chris McGowan and another happy Facebook Marketplace purchase. Thank you for joining me. Have a good one.